What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mario Zilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Series Godzilla 2021 version 2.0. This is the new 2.0 version of Godzilla 2021, which had some issues mainly in the head area as how it articulates and how the joint for the jaw was visible. Not this time with this release. All that was fixed for this one, and being one of the more popular releases, it was obvious why Hiya reissued it in the first place. Along with Godzilla, Hiya also reissued Kong to go along with the Big G. Now, folks' biggest criticism for this release is the articulation, but in terms of sculpt and accuracy, it definitely beats Monster Arts. I'll just say that right now. MSRP clocks in at about $50, which is a great price. Now, back on the market and selling out, is it going to be worth hunting this figure down? Sit back, relax, get a snack, and let's see if this Godzilla is worthy of a spot on your Monsterverse shelf. This figure looks incredible. This is an amazing looking piece. The sculpt is marvelous, 100%, and the paintwork is not too shabby either. It looks so good. The color of the sculpt work, it's all brilliant. I can't name anything wrong with it, to be honest. Godzilla's eyes are straight looking and not derped as they should be, and the head sculpt is fantastic. This is the Monsterverse Godzilla through and through. The likeness of the figure is on point, it is so spot on. And the other sculpted details look fantastic. All the grooves, bumps, and muscle details all blend together really well. The dorsal plates are excellent. I love the sculpt on all of them. The look is so good, and the colors are accurate to what we see in the movie. It's one solid color on the figure, with some dry brushing added to help highlight some of the details. The details pop so well on the shelf, you can make out everything from a distance. I can't name much wrong with this figure, honestly. There really isn't anything wrong with it, sculpt and paint-wise. I guess the teeth could have used some more colors, but it's not a big deal since in the movie, they kinda looked this way anyway. Unless I'm wrong, in which case correct me. In terms of looks, yes, I can agree it looks better than the Monster Arts in that regard. Overall, I love the look here. Godzilla looks absolutely stunning. And I couldn't be happier with how he looks. He looks incredible, and I'm more than happy with how he turned out. I should say this right now, but Hiya Toys Godzilla figures do not as posable as Monster Arts Godzilla figures. But still, for whatever articulation we got, I think it is fair for the price point. And it's not bad at all. It just needs some finagling if you need to get him in some more dynamic poses. But the poses you'll get him into is going to be a lot more realistic, if that makes any sense. So let's go over it. The head is on one giant ball peg. The rest of these are just sleeves. And he can look this high up, which is pretty good. And he can look this far down, which is not very far down at all. And he can look side to side with no problem. Mouth is on a hinge, so it can open like that. And the tongue is also on a hinge, so you can move those, no problem. Arms are on ball joints. Can go outward just about that far, so not very far at all. They do rotate, no problem. They can only rotate so far. I don't think it's a full 360 unless you force it, and I don't want to force it. Elbows on a hinge and can swivel, so that acts as your bicep swivel. The hinge does not go... The hinge can only go just about 90 degrees, just about. And hands are on ball joints. There is one ball joint in the waist, and it's right here. So he can rotate just a little bit. And wiggle around if you need him to. But he could crunch forward. Looks like it's just about that far forward and backward. That's about as far back as he can go. So here we go, forward, backward. So it's So it's limited, but as I said, the poses here are going to be more realistic. Legs can kick forward just about this far, and they can kick backward just about this far. There's no split movement at all, just barely. Cannot really go out far at all, but can go inward just about all the way. There's a little bit of a thigh swivel, just a little bit of a thigh swivel. And knees do have a bend. They can bend pretty much about all the way as possible for Godzilla anyway, so yeah, not bad. Feet are on ball joints. So they can kick backward just about this far back, can go forward this far forward, and the ankle rocker is decent. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. Because the legs don't go far out anyway, so it works out. The tail is on many series of ball joints, and it is not as fluid as Monster Arts, but can still get some pretty cool tail poses. Just try not to force it too much, you don't want it to break anything. And in case you need him to go for a swim, his tail can go pretty much all the way straight. So, Godzilla's posing is more realistic. That's about as much poses as you can get out of him. But the thing is, that's not a problem. It's not a problem because, you know, we're getting exactly what we were advertised in the promotional shots. So it's not a big deal that Godzilla cannot really be more dynamically posed than his Monster Arts cousin. So Articulation is not bad for what it is, and for the price point, I think it is fair, and it is a decent time to pose around if you know how to realistically pose your Monsterverse Godzilla figures. So yeah, Articulation is not bad. Just don't expect figure arts level. Don't expect figure arts level Articulation or Marvel Legends level Articulation, and you'll be golden. So yeah, good stuff. Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own, and no, I will not reuse these for Kong's video. Godzilla is a 7-inch scale figure, so he will be taller than the Monster Arts figures, so keep that in mind. He's meant to scale with other Hiya figures, not so much other lines of figures. Godzilla turned out really good here. I absolutely loved this release. As my second Hiya figure, I'm definitely pleased. This is not the Monster Arts killer, but I still think they are worthy competition. Godzilla is a strong release here. The only thing he's not going to have is strong articulation. That's just something to keep in mind with this figure. Don't expect it to be Monster Arts posable and you'll be golden. I highly recommend this release. It's such a good release in my opinion. He turned out really well and I instantly fell in love with this release. Love at first open for sure. Some stores still have this figure, but I would get him now before his price skyrockets like before, and you'll really be screwed. I recommend this figure for any fan of the Monsterverse. Godzilla definitely delivers in my opinion. Get him while you have the chance. Trust me, you don't want to pay $100 or more for this figure. I'll give this figure a 9 out of 10. The figure deserves a passing grade for sure, and I can't wait for future releases for this line. It'll be interesting to keep comparing these to the Monster Arts cousins, Monsterverse figures or otherwise.